Eastern religion for absolute beginners. The Vedic Samhitas. The four Vedas are the chief holy books of Hinduism, and if you can understand the opening scene of The Godfather, then you can understand the religious practice of the oldest part of the Vedas, the Samhitas. Each Veda has four parts, and each part is a different genre of literature. The Samhitas are the oldest part, and they were composed during the Bronze Age. At the time, Hinduism as we know it today, with the emphasis on karma and meditation, didn't exist. Instead, sometimes we call the religious practice here Vedic religion. The Samhitas are a series of hymns of praise. Each hymn is dedicated to a different god in the Vedic pantheon. The Samhitas reveal a world where humans constantly entreat the gods as patrons to help them in worldly endeavors. So think of the opening scene of The Godfather, where the Undertaker asks the Godfather to avenge his daughter, who's been violated by thugs. The Undertaker gives a compelling speech for the justice of his cause, and he asks Don Corleone to do justice and kill these men. But Corleone responds by asking him why he's never visited before. Why doesn't he want to be seen with him? When was the last time the Undertaker invited Corleone for a cup of coffee? You never wanted my friendship, Corleone finally says. The Undertaker sees the Godfather's power and offers to straight up buy it. The Don is insulted by this transactional offer. You don't ask with respect. You don't offer friendship. You don't even think to call me Godfather. Don Corleone's power is for his family and friends who become like family. That's why he's called the Godfather and not called the Judge. If they'd been friends, the Undertaker wouldn't have had to ask. The Don would have already punished the attackers. This is the logic of patronage. If you can understand it, you can understand a lot about the religion of the time of the Vedic Samhitas. So yes, the Samhitas are hymns of praise, but they accompanied sacrifices that invoked divine aid. At this period of time, the main goals of religious practice are worldly goals: success, prosperity, victory, children. The gods can make these goods available. But notice how the sacrifices work. Offerings are made of food and the drink soma. The worshippers share in the meal and the drink. It's not like selling the gods food from a restaurant, so much as inviting them over as guests for a meal. The worshippers do expect benefits in turn from the deities, but they expect them as part of a mutually beneficial affiliation. These offerings are ways of inviting the gods in as though patrons, offering them a drink and singing a hymn of praise. And the priests function almost like a party planner. The worshipper engages with the god like a client calling upon a patron, literally a godfather.